الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا برسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our efforts and increase our rewards as we commemorate the calamity of the martyrdom of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the martyrdom of Imam Hasan al-Martyrdom alayhi afdalu salawati wa tahiyyat, his grandson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On this occasion, we offer our condolences to the Imam of our time and to the believers, all the lovers of the Prophet and his family, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhim ajma'in. One of the most frequently actions of qurb and taqarrub ila Allah, nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seeking closeness and seeking rewards in the hereafter from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to love the Prophet and his family and visit them, ziyarah. And the ziyarah of the Prophet and his family is not limited to their lifetime, it is continuous after their demise or martyrdom, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhim ajma'in. And in fact, they are martyred, therefore they are living according to the ayat of the Holy Quran. بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. They are living with the Lord and they are receiving their sustenance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the most significant sustenance is the ukhrawi, or the sustenance of the hereafter, meaning guidance through them, meaning the rewards that they gain through people being guided through them. And visiting them, these ziyarat in fact are the means of getting closer to them, learning from them and getting closer ultimately to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore it is in fact a reward for the Prophet and his family, it's further reward for them. In the ziyarat, we are taught by the Imams of Ahlul Bayt. They taught us these ziyarat. The Imams of Ahlul Bayt are the ones who taught us these ziyarat, the ziyarah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the ziyarahs of the Imams of Ahlul Bayt. In those ziyarat, we often give salam to them, salute them, and call them with certain names and certain attributes, certain characteristics, beautiful characteristics. And the purpose of those characteristics mentioned there are, or some of the purposes there are, one, to know their status. عارفا بحقه. من زارني عارفا بحقي, for example. من زارنا عارفا بحقنا. Those who visit us knowing our rights. To know who they are, know their status, know that they are the imams, know that they are the leaders, know that they are the ones who we should obey and we should follow. This is one reason for the ziyarat, and this is why their description is there. For instance, in the ziyarah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we say, أشهد أنك رسول الله وأشهد أنك محمد بن عبد الله وأشهد أنك قد بلغت رسالة ربك. I bear witness that you are the messenger of God. I bear witness that you are Muhammad, the son of Abdullah. I bear witness that you have delivered the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and advised the people, reminded the people, and وَجَاهَدْتَ فِي سَبِيلِهِ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. You strive to guide people to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through wisdom and through beautiful and good words, this is, for instance, in the ziyarah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, or in the ziyarah of the Imams of Ahlul Bayt, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. we give the salam, assalamu alayka ibn Rasul Rabbil Alamin. You're the son of the messenger of the Lord of the worlds. You're the messenger. You're the son of the chief of the believers, the master of the believers, Amir al-Mu'mineen, the son of Fatima. So recognizing his lineage, recognizing his purity, recognizing his status and his rights. And then another one is that we we recite that ziyarah so that we understand what they stood for. These characteristics, these principles that we mention in the ziyarat are so that we understand what they stood for. And this is not for any reason other than to be like them, to try and in fact implement those things in our lives. If we cannot be at the peak that they are, to be on that path. For example, when we say, specifically in the ziyarah of Imam Hasan alayhi salam, there are multiple lines that we recite and we are taught to recite the ziyarah to visit the Imam with and mention these beautiful attributes and characteristics. For example, we say, Assalamu alayka ya safwat Allah. O the one who is chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, purified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. O the trusted one, Ameen Allah. The one who is trusted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. God delivers His message through people who are trustworthy. You are Ameen Allah. Assalamu alayka ya hujjat Allah. You are the proof of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of these could be of the first category that we mentioned, that we need to understand who they are and their rights and their status, but also for us to try and be like them. Followers of Ahlul Bayt, Shia are the ones who they walk the walk of Ahlul Bayt and talk the talk of Ahlul Bayt, salawatullah wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. So when we say he is Safwat Allah, we need to try and be Safwat Allah. They are the best Safwat Allah. And it's not something that it should stop us from trying to be Safwat Allah, trying to be purified and chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the delivering of the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the message of God, the message of the Prophet, the message of Ahlul Bayt, salawatullah wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. Assalamu alayka ya Ameen Allah, trusted of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can be trusted by God for the little message that we can carry to the little group or time, or depends on how big our hearts are and how much we want to be influential or impactful. Assalamu alayka ya bayana, for instance, the next one he says Hujjatullah, the proof. Nurullah, the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning the light of guidance. So each one of us can be the light of guidance in their circle, in their people, in their community, or in their society at their time. Some of our great scholars and the awliyaullah, they were able to be the light of God in their time beyond simply their family or their community. They were able to go even beyond their time. Maybe they could be influential. Some of them, they were influential for decades or even centuries after them. Hujjatullah. Some of our scholars gained the title. I mean, I know sometimes people exaggerate with these titles, but for instance, we say for some of our great scholars, we mention the title of Hujjatul Islam or Hujjatul Islam wal Muslimin, for example. These titles are there as obviously as token of us appreciating them as people who are delivering the message, and they're delivering the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they have this. They have reached a status where we can give them the title of Hujjah, for example, a proof from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or a proof in the path of the believers, Islam and Muslimin. Nur Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Sirat Allah. Now the Sirat, the right one is the path of the Prophet, and Ahlul Bayt salawatullah wa salam alayhim are on the same path. Each one of us could also, by being on this right path and inviting and guiding our family, friends, community, society to the right path, be also in our own capacities Sarat Allah. Assalamu alayka ya bayan hukmillah. The one who clarifies the law and the verdict of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, in today's society, our Imam Ajalullah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif is not amongst us that we have direct access to the Imam. He is in what we call occultation. During this time, we have, each one of us should strive to fulfill the needs of the Imam of our time and help his cause. Part of it is to clarify the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Obviously, the ones who do it best are our great scholars and maraja, and each one of us could play a role in that. And this is again why we recite these ziyaras, not just to understand their status, but also to try and work on ourselves and be on that path as well. Assalamu alayka ya nasira dinillah. He is the one who supported the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, helped the cause to spread the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We also can strive and do our best to be amongst those who deliver and support the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, spread the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On this sad occasion, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He helps us follow in their footsteps. They are the masters of, alameen. Say, for instance, him and his brother Imam Hasan and Imam Hussein, Sayyida Shabab Ahl Jannah. The Prophet is Sayyid al-Mursaleen. However, each one of us could strive to be also gain some of these qualities in our time. Be a Sayyid, not as in the descendant of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but Sayyid in our actions, in our leadership and guidance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in our circle, in our times. Assalamu alayka ayyuha Sayyidu Zaki. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify us and make us amongst those who are guiding and helping people on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the path of Ahlul Bayt, following the footsteps of the Prophet and his family, salawatullah wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. Grant us the ziyarah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the ziyarah of Imam Hasan alayhi salam, and the Imams in Baqiyah, Imam Baqir, Imam Zayn al-Abidin, Imam Baqir, Imam Sadiq alayhim salam. We ask him to grant us in this world their ziyarah and in the hereafter their shafa'ah. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammad wa alihi wa tayyibin wa tahirin. Allahumma salli